Then you're going to stop, turn on your left signal, look both ways, and then turn left. You still have room? Okay. After the stop sign, you're going to go straight.
So we're going to the suburbs today?
Mm-hmm. Suburban road. The road that he just...
I was...
I know.
I didn't expect to, like, sleep that well.
That's a compliment to Sam.
That's
She
good
said
driving.
she didn't expect to sleep so well. I said, that's a compliment to you. You're going to be making a right. She was comfortable. Now we're going to make a left at the light. So you want to stay to the left. Good job. So suburban / urban. Okay, so they call those suburban roads. Urban roads are considered downtown. We used to take you all downtown on day 6, but instead we just dedicated that time to practice parallel parking.
Okay. Is that going to be like a part of the test, parking?
Regular parking, parallel parking. Go ahead. I'll tell you just a minute. So we can concentrate on this part. Okay, and then get in the right lane. The test is going to be 10 to 13 minutes long. Turn off your signal. It's going to consist of parallel parking, reversing in a straight line, and they're going to take you on a regular road like this, and then a neighborhood, and then back. That's it. And then when they take you back, you're going to have to park, but it's not necessarily part of the test, but you will fail if you crash. So it's not like they're like going to measure how well you park. They're just going to make sure you signal to get into your parking spot, and you didn't hit a car. That's it. The test is really easy. When you're good drivers like you all, it's going to be easy. Because once you learn how to parallel park, which is super easy how we teach it, like most of our students come back and tell us, or they text us, they're like, man, y'all over prepare us, because that was easy. We're like, yeah, we know the test is easy. We just give you all this other extra drive stuff just for experience, because some people don't get the experience with their parents. My parents own 7 driving schools in Maryland, and you know what their drives consist of? Driving out in a straight line for 30 minutes, in a straight road, and then turning around, and they do that 6 days. But like other driving schools here, my parents also do it. Give some space, but they're going to come over. My parents also only let students drive 1 hour a month, so that it takes 6 months to finish the drives. To me, that's ridiculous. I love y'all, but I don't want to see y'all for 6 months, and you won't learn. You want to slow down, come to a stop. Oh, and you want to stop 1 car length from the vehicle in front of you. So you want to stop right about here.
You helped on that one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Just to help.
Just like double checking.
You got it the rest of the way.
It's really weird. Each time I'm like, oh.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
So, it's really weird when you're pressing on the gas and I'm pressing on the brake. My brake overturns the gas. You're like, what am I doing? I'm like, well, if you didn't slow down, we would have flipped over.
So that brake can override the gas, like when I hit the gas at all?
Okay. You'll still be gassing it, but brakes override gas.
Okay.
Huh? That wasn't to you. That was.
Yeah.
It'll take him 15 minutes to catch up to us anyway because it's a truck.
I was wondering, like, it sounded kind of loud. I was like, ooh.
It's fine. Now the speed limit is 50. I feel like you guys just got out of school.
God, yeah.
I feel like the summer was short. Or at least for my kids, they go back to school on the 11th, Thursday. When do y'all go back?
April,
April?
I think.
April?
Yeah.
Next year?
Wait.
This is August. It's coming up.
Oh! No, yeah, mine is pretty soon. I think like in a week.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, damn, April, come on, school system. Hey, y'all live out for a whole 6 months. I miss living in Australia. We went to school year round.
You lived in Australia.
I lived in Australia 3 years. I lived in Japan for 5 years. Alright, you can slow down. Little surprises.
So, how come you lived in all those places?
I was in the military.
Oh, which branch?
Air Force.
Oh, okay.
Proudly served.
Wait, you were what?
I proudly served. I was a medical nurse.
Okay.
Worked in the NICU, labor and delivery, family practice immunization. We're going to be turning right. It's going to be a yield, but it's going to be a yield that goes into its own lane, which means as you turn, you stay in your lane, you speed up, you look over your shoulder, turn your blinker, and get home. So you do everything that they're doing. Nice and slow as you turn, so you have control. Into your lane, stay in your lane, speed up, turn your left turn blinker, look over your shoulder, and get over 2 lanes because he's going slow. He didn't go to Inflex. Good job. Something wrong with the truck. Alright, we can get back. No, we're actually going to stay here. I think there's construction coming up. Living in Japan was the greatest experience of my life. And I was young,
How old?
19, had just joined the military. Well, actually, I was 19 because I went to University of Maryland. So I was like, this is not working out for me, so let me go military first. My mom was so hormonal. She was like, I worked full time, 40 hours. I was in college. I was cheerleading. I did this, did that. And I never forget, I was closing because I worked at the mall, the clothing store. The mall closed at 10. We still had to like clean and fold and all that stuff, right? I got home like at 10:47. She just went crazy on me. And I was like, I can't take this anymore. I'm enlisting into the military.
Oh, fair enough.
I think that was part of her plan anyway, because my parents are military retired. And I enjoyed it. It's the greatest experience of my life. All right, now that we're on suburban roads, start slowing down. The key thing with suburban roads, slow down more, is it has many entry and exit points, meaning people going to McDonald's, the gas station, Walmart, H-E-B. They like to wait to the last minute to decide that they need milk, knowing that they needed milk all day. So then they turn without turning on the turn signal. And so for cars that are super close, like all these cars, they crash. Okay. So what we like to teach our students is keep your 3 seconds following distance. When it's time to stop, we stop one full car length. We don't care if people look at us crazy or anything. All of this is ridiculous. That's too close. These are too close. And that's why people crash into each other. So we have plenty of time to think about what's going on if somebody slammed on their brakes or decide to turn to Chick-fil-A at the last minute. And it's going to happen. People do it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Definitely experience. I loved it. I have culture shock coming back to the U.S.
I'm sure. They're very polite, right?
Mhm.
All about manners.
Family manners. They treat you like, I mean, it just, I mean, you just get so used to it. So, because I live in Okinawa, Japan, which is off the mainland of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's cool is every morning at 6 in the morning, the whole island, you'll hear this music. And they do their exercises before starting work. No matter where you are, you stop and you're doing the exercises as you hear it on the loudspeaker. It kind of reminds me of Hunger Games, but
God.
not in a bad way. And then same thing at lunch. At lunchtime, when you hear the music come on and the loudspeaker, you stop working. So you're like, oh, that was cool. I remember saying, when I grow up and I have a family, I'm gonna adopt and adapt to the Japanese culture. Here I am at 38, working 6 to 7, barely see my kids. I came in later today. Usually I have an early drive, but my drive didn't start until 2. And my son, he woke up, he was like, who are you? Who are you? I was like, young boy. I haven't seen you so long. And he's like, Mother. I said, Son. I said, you're so dramatic. He's like, why are you calling? It's like, do we need more groceries or something? What's missing? Like, how many drives? Great. You did great. That was fabulous.
I ran a red light once because I was like, I can make it, and I ran it.
You're like, what? Those beautiful cameras, they send tickets.
Yeah. And of course, like, both times my parents are in the car.
That's the worst time. They're like, if you do it with us, you'll do it without us.
Yeah.
So whenever you're at a stop sign, especially or stoplight, especially being a new student or new driver, this is a great time to breathe and then observe the road signs. Observe what other cars are doing when they do a double left turn. We'll be practicing that. Double left turns are dangerous. The outside is the most dangerous because is it the outside? Yes, because the inside people, they sometimes forget it's 2 lanes turning left and they'll get over to your lane. So you gotta watch them while turning or they're gonna crash into you. It's really, really bad by the mall.
Oh, tomorrow's Friday.
Hmm?
Tomorrow's Friday, right?
Oh yeah. Wow, what's wrong?
I don't know, just double checking.
Yeah, you just randomly said, "Oh, tomorrow's Friday."
It's like one thing I'm excited for school. It's like, but I'm an ROTC. Like, oh, an ROTC kid. But I think like that's honestly where I experience like most of my stuff is in ROTC. It's like where
I'm glad you did. And you have no choice. So we want to stop one car length.
sorry.
That's okay. I'll keep repeating. I do the same thing as Sam. I think after a while he just told me I was like, I'm gonna park as far as I want. Far. This whole side was closed down. The right side. The left side was open. So it made it really long traffic. Yeah. I'm glad you're RTC, junior RTC.
It's really nice. So last year, they have like separate clubs like marksmanship, etc. You know what Raiders is?
Yep.
So I was in Raiders.
Okay.
And of course, like it was a ton of fun going to competitions with like the obstacle courses. Everything was really nice. But like last year they didn't have tryouts, so this year they do, and I'm like, I haven't worked out at all this summer, so I know I'm gonna be like just beaten. I mean, you can like still work out with them and not be on the team, but like, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Not late.
No, yeah, my dad was talking about it with me. He's like, you need to start running.
45.
He's like, you need to get back to working out. I was like, oh.
How you feel? I started working out, going to the gym, and wake up at 4 to get there. I have my classes at 5 in the morning. It's all the way up 281 and 604. And I live over here, simple. And then I use that's 6 p.m. Slow down. Slow down more. Whenever you see breaks, you want to keeping your distance from them.
Like one thing, I don't really have any idea what I'm gonna do like when I'm older. So the military is kind of like my backup plan. Like, hey, if this goes wrong, there's always this. And so I've been thinking about like what branch I do. So I've crossed out. I'm stuck between Army and Marines.
You're choosing between those two?
Yes.
Woo, girl.
Because I don't like the idea of being like in a submarine beneath a ton of water. It freaks me out. Or flying like in the air, like in the Air Force.
And you don't have to fly the Air Force.
I don't know. I always like
Air Force is the easiest. I'll tell you that right now. They are easiest. They take care of it's a more family oriented. If you're joining the Army and the Marines, that's usually for people who know like they're going into the military. Like we call the Army and Marines the real military because they're the ones that go to war. They're on the front line. Granted, we all do, but they kind of call us when they're ready to drop the bomb. Or are your parents military?
Yes. They actually met in the military. So
what branch?
Both of them are Navy.
Okay, my parents were Navy as well. My mom told me not to go Navy. She told me to join the Air Force, and I did. They call us the chair force because
No.
they're like, well, look at you. Okay, we're gonna get in the right lane. I would say flip it around and make the military your first go-to while you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. Because they'll pay for your school. I mean, all this stuff you know because your parents. But while you're trying to figure it out, you'll have medical, you'll have dental, you'll have a paycheck your first and 15. You'll travel, you'll get on the job experience. So, do that. Graduate, we'll figure it out when somebody else pays for it. Military was the greatest experience of my life. I would have stayed longer, but I had this thing called love. I had butterflies. I thought it was love, but it was common sense leaving my body.
No.
I love my kids' dad. But I would have stayed in. Alright, we're turning right. It's going to be a yield. You don't have to stop because we have the green light. So as you turn, just stay in the lane. So yeah, my first assignment was Japan. I remember calling my mom from military camp, and I was like, I got my assignment. It's Kadena Air Base. Where's that? And she just started screaming.
Oh.
And I was like, what's wrong? She's like, oh my God, you're going to Japan. And I started crying. And she was like, why are you crying? I was like, I wanted to get near home in Maryland. Now I'm going to another country. I'm not going to be in the U.S. She's like, babe, that is good. You're young, you don't have kids, you're not married. See the world. I was like, that's easier for you to say. We're gonna make a right at the stoplight. And then it was scary because you're a teenager, you're young. You gotta learn how to navigate through the airport and all that stuff. Best decision of my life. I was trying really hard to get Maryland, East Coast, anything close to home. They sent me to another country.
So you lived in Maryland?
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm from.
Oh. I was born in San Antonio, but then the rest of my life I spent in Maryland.
Maryland? Okay, what part?
Summer.
Familiar with Annapolis?
Yes.
Annapolis, Charles County, Waldorf, Maryland.
Yeah. It was nice. I mean, the neighborhood we were in, it was good. But like, talking about Maryland, you can always tell as soon as you went down.
As soon as you land, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to say something. I was gonna say I'm gonna tell you how I feel about Maryland. I just can't say it on camera. Turn right here. It's a big culture shock for me as well. Stick to San Antonio. I love Texas.
Yeah. At first, obviously, I was like, I don't want to move. But after living here so long, it's so nice. I mean, the heat it kind of sucks, but it's a lot nicer than Maryland.
It is very much so. Oh my gosh, it is. So my daughter, she's 15. My oldest, I have 4. 15, 14, 12, and 10. 2 boys, 2 girls. And I just shipped her off to Maryland to live with my mom and my parents because she wants to go to this culinary school, high school. She just wants something different. She's tired of Texas. She was born in Texas. She wants something new. I was like, but you can go to still high school. She was like, yeah, no. My mom was like, or I can pay $1 million because I'm rich. Have you go to this high fancy? I was like, hey, so when do you want to? It's so weird. I told my mom, I said, how weird is it that your granddaughter is in the same room your daughter was in? Like, she's in my bed, in my room. And I used to have NC posters on my wall. Go ahead and go. You probably don't know who NC is.
Band?
Yeah, it's a band. It's a boy band.
Oh, no.
Like Backstreet Boys. Way before y'all time. Now she's there. Good for you. Decided to go.
The bad thing about it is, I moved in when it it was 7th grade, so like the middle of middle school. So obviously everybody already met each other.
Yeah, that's the part that sucks.
And so I kept one friend all throughout COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like I stayed in touch with one friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I still keep in touch with her, but she's coming to my high school next year. So
that's exciting.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, I had a different school for every grade until 10th grade. At first it was traumatizing, and then after a while I felt invincible. You know how like when you're new, you're kind of like shy, you don't want to rock the boat, you're kind of trying to figure out where you fit in. Well, I want to say by 3rd grade, I became bold because I figured it out. No matter what happens, I'm not going to be here next year. So I said what I wanted to say as far as the people, but I wasn't shy. I didn't let, if I wanted to do theater, I did theater. If I wanted to do cheerleading, I did cheerleading. If I wanted to play soccer, if I wanted to not do this, and it made me more popular. But if I knew I had to stay at the same school, I probably would have been a Michelle because I felt invincible. Like, you don't like me? I don't care because I'm not going to be here next year.
Yeah.
So, crack an egg. That's what my friend says. My best friend said, that's why you have commitment issues. I said, I really do. Because I'm so used to moving. San Antonio is the only place in Texas, the only state I've lived in the longest. I've been here since 2006. I've been in San Antonio since 2008. And I'm always scratching my palm, thinking I need to move.
Just like that itch to move around.
Mm-hmm. So I just move homes to satisfy it. I'm flipping Stone Oak, Cibolo, but I'm never leaving Texas ever.
I still get surprised because like I'll talk with some of my friends and I'm like, so like Pennsylvania, etc., etc. And they're like, oh, I've never been out of state.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Texas has a lot of people that have never been out of state.
I don't know.
I love it. I love the heat. I love the weather. I love that it's hot. I love Texas. The cost of living, like when you start to become like a business owner or stuff like that, this is the place. So the homes here in Texas, you have more land. Let's say you can get a home, like for myself, like I'm married now. That just happened 3 days ago. But before I was a single mom of 4, and I bought my own house, 5-bedroom, 3-bath home in Cibolo, which is a prestigious place for this area. And the home was like $269,000, right?
Yeah.
Well, in Maryland, it'll probably be $250,000.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because it's so expensive there.
And they stack on top of that.
Yeah, they just stack them.
So you got married 3 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.